my name's Natalie. I'm going to be your nurse today.
Hi.
Just going to wash my hands. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Elizabeth Eberhardt, June 10th, 1993.
Okay, great. And are you the mother of Elizabeth?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so I unfortunately heard about your heart attack. I just wanted to know how you're feeling today.
I'm okay. I'm
Feeling
tired.
A little bit better? Okay, well, the good news is that the doctor thinks you're good enough to go home. So I have your discharge papers here ready for you. And before I do that, your doctor did order a new medication, and he wanted me to just go over it with you and tell you some of the side effects and warnings and all that before you leave.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me before I begin?
Yeah, are we going to see the doctor before we leave?
Yeah, he's going to pop in later before you guys leave, and he's just going to go over everything I just went over and do a quick checkup on her.
Okay, perfect.
So you will speak with him.
Thank you.
But before you do so, I just want to give you, a few pieces of information, and just stop me at any point if you have any questions, okay? So your new prescription is called Captopril, and it's also known as Capoten. And this type of medication is an antihypertensive, because I understand that her blood pressure has been a little bit on the high side lately, so it should bring that down, and it's going to help regulate the blood pressure. But more importantly, for the circumstances, it will help improve your heart function due to your recent heart attack. And it helps by lowering the blood pressure, which essentially lessens the workload on the heart. So, in general, it just improves the overall function of the heart.
Okay.
Does any of that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will prevent any further damage?
Any damage that you already have and any further damage from happening. So, because you have high blood pressure, like I mentioned before, it increases the workload, which, can potentially damage the heart. So this should just overall make everything better if you just adhere to the medication regimen, which I will explain to you.
So once she feels better, we stop taking it?
No, absolutely, that is definitely not the best idea.
Okay.
You will start to see better symptoms, and you will definitely start to feel better, but as long as you keep taking this medication, you will be better. But if you stop at any point, it does increase your chances of you having another heart attack or other symptoms that can relate to high blood pressure.
Okay.
So if you do have any questions, definitely call your provider, and he'll better explain that to you.
Okay.
But that was a very good question. So your physician has prescribed this medication at 25 milligrams and 3 times a day. Now you should develop a routine so that you are taking it either an hour before meals or 2 hours after a meal. Most importantly, because Captopril, if you take it with food, it can decrease the absorption of the drug, and your body won't get the same effects of the drug. And it will lessen the levels of the blood in your drug as well. Also try to take it at the same time to better instill a regimen that your body and yourself can become accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
So will you be helping her with her medication regimen?
Yeah, I'll get it ready in the morning and stuff.
Okay, great. The only major
So do I have to change my diet?
Yeah, I was just gonna mention the only major consideration that you might have to change about your diet is any salt substitutes, because the salt substitutes do contain potassium, and potassium does affect your heart. So I would try to stay away from salt substitutes and try.
What about bananas?
Bananas, you can eat bananas in moderation. Anything too much of anything is bad, but that does contain potassium. But try to keep it to a moderate level. And I would try to keep your diet to a low sodium diet, mainly because sodium does affect the workload on your heart and just prevents anything bad from happening in the future. This medication is made to lower your blood pressure, so try to change positions from laying down to standing up slowly, just to prevent any dizzy spells or fainting spells. We just want to get your body accustomed to getting up slowly and laying down slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And before you may experience dizziness, it's important to avoid driving. Before you know that the drug affects you, just don't, because the drug, your body will become used to the drug, and those effects will wear off over time. But initially, I would try to stay away from driving when you feel those dizzy spells.
Okay.
Are there any questions for me now, or no? Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a little bit more information. Stop me, like I said, if you have any more questions. All right. So with this medication, there are risks for adverse reactions, and I'm going to go through a few of the most frequent ones with you. But just remember, if this medication is going to help you, so don't let it scare you, or don't anticipate them, but definitely be aware of them if they were to happen.
Okay.
Common side effects with this drug, as I mentioned before, is dizziness. So it's important to give your body time to get used to this medication and continue to change position slowly. So like I said, this will wear off with time, but initially I would try to just be aware of the dizziness and get up slowly and lay down slowly.
Okay. Should I drive her for a few weeks? Or?
Yeah, if you are, because it doesn't happen to everyone, but if you are experiencing this dizziness, I would try to avoid driving, as much as possible. Another usual effect is impairment of taste. Okay, so do you know what this means by impairment
Yeah.
of taste? Yeah,
Do
so
you understand?
Like things will taste weird.
yeah, it may cause your food to taste a little bit different in the beginning, but it usually resolves in a few weeks once your body, like I said, gets used to the drug. And if it doesn't, make sure to mention to the doctor if you experience these symptoms. Call the provider, tell them what you're experiencing, how long.
Okay.
And a dry cough is another side effect. It is may become persistent and bothersome, but it is no immediate threat to your health. So it's nothing you should be alarmed at, concerned about. But if it does become too persistent and too like annoying, then I would call the doctor up and he might recommend something over the counter for you to take.
Okay.
And maybe he might adjust or change the medication. Any skin reaction should be immediately reported to your healthcare provider because it may be a sign of an allergic reaction. So as soon as you see, like things on your skin or rashes, just definitely give your doctor a call.
Okay.
Constipation and diarrhea are also very common while taking this medication. It's important to try to maintain a healthy lifestyle with plenty of nutritious foods, high in fibers, fluids, and exercise. But if either persists, try to call the doctor.
Should we start a stool softener?
Like I said, she might not experience a constipation, but if she does, and if it becomes persistent, then I would call the doctor first, and he might recommend it over the counter. So I know that was a lot that I just read, but those are the most common side effects. If you experience anything weird or different, just call the doctor up, and he'll let you know what's going on and if it's something to be concerned about.
Okay.
Are there any questions you have for me?
No.
Okay, great. So I'm just gonna sign a few papers and get the rest of your discharge papers ready, and then the doctor's gonna come back in here and just see you before you leave. Okay?
Thank
you.
So thank you so much. I hope you feel better.
Thanks.
It was nice to meet
meeting
you. Take care.